Hello, everybody. We're going to try this again and see if you can hear me this time. If anybody's here, it's okay. I can sew a little bit until somebody else shows up. I'm practicing some free motion quilting on a little thing I whipped together. I looked at the blocks and went, oh, I can make that. And me and my Juki are just sitting here, slowly creating something. It can go really fast, but I don't think I get as much control over what I'm making when I do that. When we were doing my test video earlier, I apparently went completely silent. And I don't want that to happen to you. So if you can hear me, let me know. What I'm doing right now is just some little swirls, like Angela Walters does on her stuff. But I figure she's got 20 years of practice on me. So I figure, what the heck? Let's try it. And all I'm doing when I do these is I'm just making a little swirl and then tracing it back. And sometimes I get a little close together, but that's okay. It happens. What I'd really like to get good at is making those feathers. And then you just go back up and you retrace the same line and you go the opposite direction going down. They come out so pretty. And they fill in lots of space really easily. Hey Laura, hey Brenda, who dat? Can you hear me this time? You don't know who Angela Walters is, Brenda? She's like the queen of free motion quilters as far as I'm concerned. She used to do the midnight quilt show. She always had her a big old glass of wine while she was quilting. She called it piecing potion. I can't drink that much wine, so my piecing potion is just Diet Coke. You didn't recognize me. Why? Because I haven't been on in so long? I think we got everything worked out with that microphone. Turns out we had it on mute. Hey Nancy, how are you today? I'm just doing some fiddling around, doing a little bit of free motion quilting. I stink at it, but I guess the only way you get good at anything is to practice, right? Hey, Joyce. Hey, Kathy. Did you get registered for school? We got a better camera, Brenda, and it's the same lights that I had before, but that camera seems to not make it look so dusty. I'm good, Nancy. We've been playing with cameras and microphones all afternoon. Give me just a second. I'll show you guys what I'm working on. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up right now. I had this thing about I see blocks on quilts on Pinterest. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk today. Yay, Kathy. She's all set up for school. Let's see if this will show you guys. Can you see my little kitty cats? I saw the block on Pinterest and I thought, oh, I can make that. So I made the blocks. And then this morning I was sitting here trying to figure out what I wanted to do as far as sewing for the day. And I thought, oh, well, let's do some free motion quilting and do that cat. So I guess it may turn into a table runner. I don't know. I may decide to do something else with it. But let me get these threads trimmed off of here. I have a garbage can hidden over here behind me. But where do you guys normally put your threads when you take them off of your quilts? Do you toss them on the floor like I do sometimes? Or are you actually good and put them in like a thread catcher of some kind? Five cats and a dog? Your granddaughter's brave. Is the dog afraid of the cats? Or the cat's afraid of the dog? Yeah, I call myself throwing them away, Kathy, but I don't always get them where they're supposed to be. I have to vacuum fairly regularly to keep up. And I can't be the only one who pulls dry clothes out of the dryer and finds out that you've got a thread stuck to something. The dog is afraid of the cats because she's a puppy. What kind of puppy is she, Beverly? The jar near your sewing machine, I'd break that for sure. I don't have a thread catcher. I probably should make another one for myself, huh? That might actually work better than trying to put it in this garbage can over here that I had hid in the corner. And it's probably a good thing that I had to end the chat earlier because right after I got off the chat, my sewing machine ran out of bobbin thread. So I got to clean my sewing machine and make all new bobbins in between. I'm glad I don't have a camera that shows you guys what I'm doing. Hi, Beverly. A mini trash can. I remember those. They have the little lid that you can push. Blue Tick and Bulldog. Oh, she's going to be a big dog. A big gangly dog. My dad had blue tick hounds when we were growing up. We called them coon hounds, and nobody was allowed to go near those dogs except him. Let's see. Something popped up here, and I don't want to look at that. I want to talk to you guys. There we go. Do you hunt with yours, Beverly, or no? Just keep them all for pets. Hey, Shirley. This is only like my third or fourth live, so I appreciate you coming to visit. I liked your video that I saw from, I guess, yesterday or the day before about things you didn't know you could do on YouTube. I didn't know all those things either. I appreciate the knowledge. All right, let's cut that thread. Yeah, what province are you in, Shirley? Only know Nova Scotia for sure. Yeah, being able to speed up videos. There's a guy I watch who's building his own house, Gilbert Farm. But sometimes he goes way into the technical stuff of it for me, and I just want to see how the house comes out. Did he hog hunt with him, Beverly? Oh, thank you, Kathy. We have people down here. We live in Florida, Beverly. And we have people down here who hog hunt with dogs. It irritates me when they get too close to the house because we live pretty far out. We're about a mile down a dirt road, pretty rural. And every once in a while they come down this way and we're like, you can't hunt on anybody's land down here. Not to be mean, but because we all have like cows and goats and donkeys. A miniature dachshund. Those are cute little dogs. Oh. And then I don't know if you can see a little bit of shadow there. Just did a little roundy round to get that put away. And like I said, I'll probably trim it up and turn it into a table runner or a mat for the dog to lay on. I always put mine on 1.25 for sew yeah also. I am sewing on a Juki 2010 TLQ. It's the same machine that Becca has, that Soya sent her, and that Tiffany uses. So it's a pretty good machine. That's why I kept trying to sell you on one, Kathy, because I know how to do the repairs on it if something goes wrong. And I added extra oil when I oiled mine a few minutes ago. Hi, Ella. How are you today? My son lives in Satsuma, Beverly, in Palatka County. I don't know if that's fairly close to you. I know that they lived in Jacksonville for a little while, but they decided to move back near where her parents live. Got to have somebody to help watch the grandkids. You know how that goes, right? What's super quiet? Is it hard to hear me, Kathy? Oh, the Juki's super quiet. Hey, Mary, how are you? The reason the Juki's quiet is because I literally just oiled it. I think Ella told us in chat yesterday where she's from, but it has escaped me right now. Ella, where are you from? Because I know you said English wasn't your second language. You like the cats, Kathy? That one was way too easy. Yep, I'm good, Ella. I need to figure out how to write down quilt patterns so I can share them with people on the Facebook group. Oh, I don't like doing taxes either. I have a couple of people that I used to do them for. I'm not quite sure I understand all the rules now because they changed so much in the last few years. We do ours with TurboTax because I tell it all the strange things. We have a farm and this, that, and the other. Germany, that's right, Ella. That's where I thought, to be sure. So I will tell you how to do this cat block if you want me to. Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate it. It's really super simple. And then I will try to figure out how to write it down. I was born in Kentucky and came down here when I was 12, Beverly. So I'm from the same part of the country that you live in now. Trying to get all my loose threads off of here. I think I'm up to the farmhouse for the next block I've got to do on that, Kathy. I said something earlier about I was going to show the pictures of them, and I thought, nope, I'll wait. The Brilliant doesn't have droppable feed dogs, Beverly? How deep is your throat plate? That usually is the biggest issue for me. In Louisville, Kentucky, I got cousins all over the state, basically. They started out in Whitesburg, down near Hazard and Harlan. I know where Murfreesboro is, Beverly. That's all this is, Beverly Davis. This is just practice. That's literally all it is. And you can tell that I'm not very good. I just get in there and try. Figure if it looks okay, fine. If not, well, I'll wash it. And once it's washed, you can't really tell anyway. Thank you, Mary. This was just scraps of fabric I had that were the right size to be able to, or big enough to be able to do this. 2 of them are from old sheets. Wyoming. To me, that's like Minnesota. Cowboys and horses and cattle, right? Thank you, Beverly. I'm learning. And I figure if I do it on the little ones, then maybe I can translate it into the bigger ones. I just get tired of doing like intricate stuff on a bigger quilt. When I did this one up here, I literally put these flowers in all the white spaces. Let me drop quilts on my own head. I just put flowers in all the white spaces, if you can see that. And then did, big repeats for the borders and stuff. And then in the 9 squares, because I had to quilt every 4 inches, I just put circles in the center of all of them. And I haven't washed this one yet. I need to. And I dropped thread on it. I figure I don't know how to do the fancy stuff, but I can do the easy stuff. Tullahoma. I know where Bardstown is. And I can find all I can do with Wyoming is find it on a map. I've never been, let's see, I've been to Denver. I lived in Oklahoma City for a few years in my early 20s. Is yours mounted like up on a table, Beverly? Because that was what was hard for me, was my shoulder. When it was like sitting, see how mine is sunk down into the table? My husband and his buddy built me this table, which is awesome. But when it was sitting up about another 4 inches, It was really hard for me to move the fabric around too. Once they sunk it in here, if I don't have the computer, I can sit there and do it. Oh, I it affected the watch time for the creator. I think most of us are probably so new at this that it may not make a big difference on our watch time numbers anyway. But anyway, getting it down on a lower level for me, Beverly Davis, made it a whole lot easier for me to free motion quilt stuff. And then you have to drop your your feed dogs if you know where they are. Does the Brilliant have that option on it? I don't know much about that. Shirley, I liked your video on how you cut up uh, freezer paper too. I'd never thought of doing it that way so I could print stuff out. Speaking of freezer paper, I think my next big quilt is probably going to be Chicken Salad by Lori Holt. I'm following how Becky over at Power Tools with Threads doing it, but I think I'm going to do it without all the fancy embroidery software she's got because it ain't in the budget. It's not going to happen. So I'm looking at doing it the same way that I did my farmhouse vintage, or excuse me, vintage housewife that I did a few years ago, where I traced the shapes onto Heat and Bond Light. Oh yeah, the vintage housewife is cute. I love doing that one. The vacuum cleaner and stuff. And I got to put like, hi Kelly. I got to put like the branding on it. I put our name on as if where you'd put Hoover on it. I thought it was really cute. But I want to do the chicken salad. And I'm going to do it without all those embroidery machines because I don't have them. I have an embroidery machine, but I don't have the software to convert it. So I'm thinking about doing it by hand. Is anybody interested in seeing that happen? It would probably be a whole series of videos because it would take a while. Ah, there went tech support. Kelly, how's your leg doing today? Oh, Kathy wants to see it. Of course she does. Just another quilt you need to make this year, Kathy. It's just sitting on a table. That might be part of it, Beverly Davis, is that it's too high for you to easily move it. I mean, I have problems with both my shoulders. My right one likes to lock up and not let me move anything. And if I go up above my head for much, it definitely locks up. So, but might not make it. I can film doing it. Oh, good for you, Kelly. Are you still wearing a brace on it? Yeah, that was one of my problems, Beverly Davis, was when it was up so high, I just couldn't. Like this, I bought the wax for your sewing table from So Yeah a while back, and it smells just like turtle wax. Well, I have car wax out in the laundry room. So once I run out of this wax stuff that they sold me, I'll probably go back to using the turtle wax on my extension table because it's all metal and plastic. I don't think it'll hurt it. You haven't needed a break. I thought they were going to operate on your leg, Kelly. It keeps popping things up there. I don't think my house is level. So you're walking with one crutch. Does that mean you're putting weight on your knee now, Kelly? Eek. Yikes. That's not good. will do as far as the chicken salad quilt is I'll do a live maybe a couple days a week, working around everybody else's lives, and we can trace it out and do it together. You can watch me do it if you're interested. And if nobody's interested in watching it live, because it will be long and tedious, then I could probably make videos and just put them out once a week or so you can see what the progress on it has been so far. What do you think? I really want to make the chicken salad quilt, though. Yeah, Kelly, I definitely hope you don't have to have surgery. Ooh, maybe you'll get lucky, Kelly. That would be nice. Do you like a weekly live, Kathy, you think? Then you can ask questions in real time. I can definitely do that. Beverly Davis, let me tell you, how much did it cost my table? A couple $100?
Probably, yeah. The brackets alone were about 50, well, $25. So yeah.
My husband and his buddies built me my desk that I've got mine on, and I'll put some pictures in the Facebook group. Bleh. I can't talk today. But what inspired the idea was I saw someone on YouTube who had taken an old desk, one of those wooden ones, and then they put the hole in the desk for their machine. She didn't put her extension table in, but I had more room to be able to do it. Oh, that's an idea, Brenda. The pink insulation. I've seen it done with foam too, and then you covered it with plastic, like a plastic tablecloth. But I like this because it actually gives me a lower, like my elbows are bent at the right angle. It's 90 degrees for the table. So I'm not trying to push the quilt around up here. Joyce, I'll definitely think about doing it live then. Kelly, you live near Kathy? That's great. Like almost neighbors. Does that mean a couple 100 miles or? Because I thought Kelly was in Canada. Oh, wow. 60 miles is livable. Tech support's over here torturing the dog with chips. How do you like the So Study table, Beverly? And does the machine not fit down inside that one? Hi, Sandra. How are you today? It covers the whole area and the machine. Kathy, that might definitely be helpful, especially when you're doing long strips of stuff. Hey, Marie. Lisa, I did a live earlier to test, and then I decided I'd come back on once we got all the little issues worked out. I'm trying not to say the word kink because I don't want to get weird YouTube vibes. Um, but I'm trying to figure out right now when I'm going to schedule to come on. And I think what I'm going to do is the chicken salad quilt without all the bells and whistles that Power Tools with Thread has. UW. don't follow anything. I pick football teams by whether or not I like the color of their uniforms, which is great in October in red shoes, but it's not so good the rest of the year because they all look like mud on the TV screen. Thankfully, my husband's not all into football, so I don't have to pretend I know what I'm doing. Oh, you're talking about the extension part of it, Beverly. Yeah, that's Kelly and Kathy. You guys should try to figure out if you can do a collab. I sound like your mom. Is that good or bad? Where's your mom from? We were watching back the test video a little bit ago. Oh, your mom hates football. I know the rules. I learned them when I was in high school. I just don't care about the game. It doesn't make any sense to me. You're starting chicken salad too, Marie? Are you doing it the way Becky is? Do you have all the embroidery software, or are you going to be doing it the same way I am? Well, I'm going to do it a little different than Lori does. Lori does her applique by stitching sew on interfacing to the back and then flipping everything out. Oh, I'm going to do mine with Heat and Bond Light. And I think my husband moved my pile that I had for my Lori Holt stuff. I bought gallon Ziploc storage bags or whatever the cheap brand is. And I made one for each of the chickens. And what I'm planning to do is as I pull the fabric for chickens and draw out my shapes for everybody, I'm going to put them in the bag. And then when I get ready to put the quilt blocks together, I should have everything in one spot. And I'm going to decide on fabric ahead of time because I know all the chickens are supposed to be different colors. So I'm going to use Lori's cutting guide for that. But I'm going to use Heat and Bond instead of doing the applique the way she does. I tried that on the Vintage Housewife when I did it, and I hated dealing with turning that interfacing inside out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, Kelly. I may do blanket stitch on them. It just depends on how fiddly it seems to be whenever I get ready to start them. But I can do the free motion without a problem as far as doing free motion on raw edge applique. I did. Can I have that pile back? Sorry. Regular but different.
Oh, you also have it on the notepad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, do you need a book too or no?
I'm looking for the chicken block I made earlier. It's in my bags. Are they there? We moved stuff earlier so we could put technology. You do raw edge and stitch. That's probably easier than trying to get it to stay. No, there's a bunch of Ziploc bags that are tucked inside one another. I got them.
Okay.
Organization ain't my strong point this week. Hi, Tracy. This is with no Heat and Bond. I did Myrtle. I just cut her out and threw her together to kind of see if I really wanted to do this. And I did her without Heat and Bond. I don't like how flimsy that is. So I'm thinking that I want to do her. But here's my bags for my chicken salad. And I've got my shapes in here. And then each of my chickens has a bag and is numbered. I'm trying to see if that's readable for you. Probably not. That one says chicken salad #1 Hattie. You like my chicken? I don't think any of that fabric on there is Lori Holt though. And all my Lori Holt is sitting in a box over there. So I can go through it and figure out what I want to put. Yeah, the chickens are cute. I don't have an Iron Man helping me, but I do have, we're calling him tech support right now. My husband's name is Wayne. He's trying to get everything up and running for me so that I can do this. And he's actually accomplished tons today. Well, Kathy, I will definitely let you see how my quilt, or Kelly, I'll definitely let you see. He doesn't participate in my sewing, but he enables. Oh, he enables. And he's really good about helping me figure out the technical stuff and how to get stuff up and working. He's the one who built this bench for me. I told him what I wanted and he made it happen. And I don't know if you can see the white on top here. It isn't paint. It's an MDF board.
I think the white backer board.
White backer board. So I can beat this white backer board as much as I need to, and then we can take it off and just replace it if it gets totally worn out. So far I've made it, it's got some worn spots right in front of the machine, although I don't think they show up on video. But it's got some worn spots and I'm looking forward. You can see white. Yeah. Yeah, all of that is the backer board that he has. And then I've got my table's like 5 feet long. So my machine's over here. Yeah, I love using the bags for organizing things. So my machine's over here. I've got my cutting board right beside me. And then on a little TV tray right here to my left, I don't want to turn the computer because that messes with the camera. But I've my wool mat and my iron there. Wayne was Shirley's husband's name. Aw, it's a good name. Bye, Kelly. Have a great day. Wayne was your first kiss, Lisa. Well, I hope it wasn't my Wayne. And then, oh, in the milk line at Kroger, or is your grocery store there called? Oh, at kindergarten. That's funny. And I was showing these the other day, or talking to Kathy about these the other day, and to Colleen, TNC Norton, who's not here today. But these are quilting bee rulers that have pink and black. Can you see them, Kathy? And I don't know if you can see it, but all those little dots on the back are like little rubber gripper dots that keep the ruler from moving. So if you put it down on your fabric, it doesn't shift, but you can move it around. So that's the ones we were talking about the other day. Your internet's being wonky and buffering. Mine seems to be working okay. I've got my fingers crossed on that. I like the pink color too because it's easier for me to see. And then the black grid lines, I mean, let's see. Does that help? See how clear those black grid lines are? And then they don't show this far out, but maybe up closer. Can you see the little gray dots? It's quilting bee, quilting BEE. I know I got these on Amazon for the whole set was $20 or something. You got like this is 6.5, and I think I got up to 15. So I got 3 or 4 rulers for it. And I use them for a little bit of everything. The only thing that I don't like about these is that there's only one corner where you get 1 and 1 together. The other one shows you 5 and 5, and there's a 6 here. So And then Kathy and I were talking about this during one of her lives one day because I made a quilt with a whole lot of half square triangles. You bought the quilting bees mats and they were horrible. Wait a minute. Did you buy wool mats or did you buy cutting mats? Because there's definitely a difference in cutting mats. Oh, well, I like the rulers. I don't even know who the quilting bee is. This is that quilt in a day ruler we were talking about a few days ago. The half square that goes all the way up to 6.5. You line up your marking 3.5 inches here is you put it right on your seam and then you can square the rest of it up without doing anything major. The only thing about this is that it tells you to use it so that the triangle's facing away from you. And I always turn it to face me so I can see my seam line along that little line. And then I trim from this side. You have this ruler too, Kathy? Yeah. And then I put some of those slippy grips we were talking about on the back. I put, matter of fact, I put the round parts over here and the little insert that comes out of that slip grip. I actually put on the front in case I ever need to turn the ruler over for some reason, so it doesn't slide all over the place. Plus, if I put the two rulers inside of like a drawer together, they don't slip and slide around in the drawer. Lisa, my quilting is a total amateur, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I am literally just learning. I've been watching a whole lot of Angela Walters to like steal ideas from her. And then I know this sounds incredibly boring, but Tiffany over at Tiffany's Quilting Life um, puts videos up of her long arm quilting things on her long arm quilter, and she sets it to music. And I actually sit and watch and try to steal ideas from her. I mean, not steal, borrow ideas from Tiffany also. But thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I'm trying to learn. And one of the things that I want to pass along to people is it's not that hard. Um, this one's a practice piece. Literally just sat down and did it. But once you give yourself permission for it not to be perfect, and then you actually wash the piece that you've quilted, a lot of times the things that bug you when you're actually sewing don't turn out to be so bad whenever you pull the quilt out of the washer. The only thing I really, really concentrate on is to try to keep it moving at the same pace and then to try to get all the threads off because I left one on my quilt that I quilted for my bed. And about 3 weeks later, I found the long thread that I'd forgotten to cut off the back and it caught my little toe and it hurt. I was like, no, I don't like this. You want to? Okay. Kathy, I'll show you anything you want to see. Are you looking to see quilt tops or do you want to see quilts I've quilted? Because I've done quite a few. There's another one, Sandy, that I've been looking for is Troy. Is that supposed to be Michael? I haven't found that Troy guy. All right, well, this one is, of course, my favorite that I've done so far. I did an Irish chain, a single Irish chain. And then when I quilted it, I just did the flower in the center and then a little circle in the middle of the 9 patch. So, and this one's done. It hasn't been washed. This one's going to my bed eventually. And then there's some of the back of it. So you can see I didn't quilt all of it and I didn't quilt it to death. I just literally did, you know, here and there. My batting says that you have to quilt within every 4 inches, and I'm close to that. There may be some places that are a little bit more than 4 inches, but not many. So that's my single Irish chain. I want to do a triple, which Kathy's doing on her channel. And let's see. I moved everything to get it somewhat neat. And we all know how that goes, right? The sewing room's never completely neat. I showed this one on my first live. This is one I painted along with Lisa Cape and Quilts. And I think several of y'all follow her too. Let's see. Can you see that pretty well there? Oh, Ella, you have a great day. Thank you for coming. Sandra, that's all I know how to do is simple quilting. So good. We're all on the same page on that. So that's painted and then quilted. And let's see. I would love to claim this one, but I didn't make it. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop did. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. Let's see. What else do I have up here? Oh, I painted a few of these. This is a different one from Lisa Capon. This one I drew out the 25 blocks, painted them, sewed them together. That's a pain. Tucker Sewing and Quilting. That's who I need to look for, Laura. And this is one I did a cheater way. I drew it all on the fabric and then quilted it. Let's see. And I made this one. Sometimes I look at quilts, like when I see them somewhere online, and I automatically know how the block was made. This was one of them. I'm trying to find it where I can show you a big chunk at one time. So you can see the star in it. There you go, right there. See the star in the center? That's called a hunter star. And when I saw it, I looked at it and I went, I know how to make that. I still have no clue how I knew how to make it. You did the COVID blocks. This one wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, Lisa. I really thought it was going to be more complicated. The hardest part of it. Who made the ruler? It was the pink and black one is by Quilt in a Day. This one. By Quilting Bee. And the half square triangle ruler is by Quilt in a Day. Yeah, I did post the Hunter Star on Facebook. I have another one that I haven't posted on Facebook. I'm trying to figure out. I moved it underneath all the stuff. I have this one hanging up here as much to get my brain into the idea of what I want to do to quilt it as anything else. I use freezer paper for patterns, just like Miss Shirley does. And then this is another one that I looked at it and went, I know how to make that. In the hoop edge to edge. Thank you, Shirley. But I looked at that one and went, I know how to do that. It took me some HSTs and some time, but I figured it out. And there's my quilting on the back. I love Lisa Capon. Yeah, I've been following her for a long time. So I made a little one to make sure that I could do it. And then I love So Ya's basic boxes, but I didn't like their pattern choice last month, and honestly, I didn't look at it till after I had used the fabric for this. And that is where my So Yeah fabric went last month, was into this. I think this is way prettier than the pattern they came up with. You didn't like the pattern either, Murray? Did you use the fabric for something else? Thanks, Kathy. That's one of those I saw the picture and went, oh, I can make that. I think that it was you and Teresa Louise that I was asking how much of the pattern do you have to write yourself before you call it yours? Because I was like, I just did it from the picture. I don't know if I'm cheating when I do that, but I literally looked at the picture and went, I want to make that. I love those blues. Yeah, the blue and white's gorgeous. And then the one Lisa Holt block, Lori Holt block that's floating around here that I need to do something with. I'm in Florida, Shirley. Down by, if you know anything about Florida, it looks like it's got a big hole in it. That's Lake Okeechobee. I live in the town of Okeechobee. I'm a blue fan too, Marie. And then this is the other one I've got up here that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it. That's one of the 3-yard quilts out of that book, out of one of the 3-yard quilt books. And I didn't want to cut the birds up. I wanted the birds to be, and that looks yellow, but it's really kind of a limey green, the background fabric. And then down underneath my table, I have like 27 quilts that I need to quilt. Not to mention the 4 or 5 I just popped up there and showed you. Yeah, Sandra, I do too. I see a picture and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. That's where the cats came from. I saw a picture. They're coming through well. Good, Marie. I'm glad. And then I'm really cheap. Is that the right word? Frugal, my husband says. The back of this, I didn't use fabric. I cut a pillowcase up. My stepdaughter was cleaning out someone's house a few months back, and she called me and said, oh, these people have a ton of sheets. Do you want some? She sent me 6 garbage bags full of them. I finally got through them all and got rid of the ones that I couldn't use, the ones that had holes or stains or were made out of that flimsy rayon stuff. I don't like sleeping under those, and they don't sew well. They snag and they pull. Yeah, Marie, why not? And this one was an all cotton pillowcase. I just cut the little edge with the ribbon off of it. I didn't throw it away. And then I cut this to size. You're making a Halloween quilt? No, on what? Like pet top. So did you like put pictures of the family's dogs into the quilt, Sandra? Oh wow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think my granny grew up during the Depression, but I know they was dog poor. They were dog poor growing up. My mom was. So you don't throw anything away if you can still use it. Even when I trim off the top of this, I'll probably take the edges of the fabric and use them either to make binding or use them to cut it into 2.5-inch squares for other things. Your Easter quilt. And then any leftover pieces of the batting, I'll use either to stuff something or I will piece them together to back another quilt. You applicate every pet? Sandra, are you on Facebook? I'd like to see those applique pictures. I've seen people who do thread stitching of pictures of people's pets. Well, hey, James, how are you today? I hope all the kids are well and that grandma's doing okay. But Sandra, I have a Facebook group, or so does Kathy, as a matter of fact. She's got a channel and a group, and maybe she'll put up her link, although I think everybody here is also part of Kathy's group. But if you post it in one of those groups, I'd love to see how you applique pictures of pets. Yeah. I have a group for Practically Creative on there. Kathy's got one for Kathy's Quilts. If you put up a picture in Practically Creative, I think it's Practically Creative with Melissa on Facebook. But if you put a picture, I would love to see it. We have you have Kathy's. That's fine. You can post it in Kathy's. I'll see it there. You had to cancel your subscription to the box, Beverly. That's not good. Did you have problems with it last month too? I have problems with it not taking the payment out. Kathy, I know I'm in your face. I'm not sure if Sandra is. She says she is though. We have a picture of our first boar goat, male boar goat that we had, and I would love to turn that into a quilt. Yeah, that Easter quilt is going to be pretty. I was watching that yesterday while I was PJ. Oh, that stinks, Marie. I think they're having some growing pains with all that. For the New Year star, I don't know that pattern, James. Is that anything like? Oh, you're doing Donna Jordan's pattern, aren't you? For the New Year star. Is that the one you're making for a relative? I think I saw you were making one for your uncle. I'm probably going to do the chicken salad as the first quilt, Kathy. That's what it's looking like. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of like torn between let's make a quilt or do I need to teach some basics first? I mean, what are people more interested in? I like your setup where you work between a couple of different things. Where like one day you work on this quilt, the next day you work on cross stitch or crochet or whatever, and then the third day you work on something completely different. My problem is that I don't do very much in the way of cross stitch or crochet because of my hands. So I do a lot of quilting. So maybe what I'll do is one day, maybe plan on 2 days a week. One day I'll do work on the chicken quilt, and the other day maybe I'll do some free motion stuff. Because I think that a lot of people are intimidated by free motion quilting that shouldn't be. I was really intimidated. And then after I saw there was like one person who it finally clicked with me, and it wasn't Angela Walters, it was my sewing room. She got on there and she just does it. She doesn't let anything intimidate her. She just does it, and she shows you how she does it, how she comes up with ideas and all. Hi, Wendy. So I think that might be the way to go for me. Unless anybody's got suggestions. I mean, doesn't have to be all my ideas. Like Kathy, I'm willing to take input from everybody else. It is easy once you get the hang of it, but a lot of times it seems intimidating because, like Lisa told me that mine's pretty. I can tell you everything that's wrong with mine. I'm not going to sit here and do that. But a lot of things are solved by washing a quilt. Once you get it quilted and bound, a lot of the things that bug you about it when you're first doing it go away when you wash it because it gets that. I like it when a quilt gets that crinkly look after it's been washed and dried and it kind of relaxes. And then you just get to sleep under it. Cool. Oh, I didn't mean to hit y'all. Is it back?
Oh, you're on.
Kathy? Kathy, let me know if you can hear me. Thanks, Joyce. I appreciate it. I sideswiped the microphone. Sorry, I didn't intend to. Oh, that happens, Beverly. Thanks, Beverly. That happens, Beverly Davis. Thanks, Beverly Akins. Let's see. I want to see if I can find this on Kathy's quilts. Yeah, Maria, I kind of have the same feeling. Hi, Nana. I kind of have the same feeling about it. I'm working on. I'm gonna do this month, and then we'll see. I like the Halloween quilt, Sandra. Oh wow, guys. Kathy, did you mute me, Kathy? Everybody else is saying they can hear me. Even Nana Mona, who was having issues hearing me earlier. 520 pieces. Hey, Teresa Louise. Oh, no, Mona, you didn't cause any problem at all. That's what we were doing, was testing the microphone and the camera to make sure everything worked. If you guys are in Kathy's group, you should definitely go look at these blocks that Sandra Kinney just put up. She does amazing applique work. I don't know if, Sandra, do you care if I show them? I'm not sure they'll come through on camera, but I'll try. Good, James. You missed the dad jokes, Lisa. Maybe we just need to put up our own dad jokes. They don't have to come from them. Well, I'm going to show this one picture if it'll show. I don't know how well that comes through. Thank you, Teresa. I've been trying. She appliques people onto blocks from pictures of their pets. I think that's awesome. Yeah, they're dogs. Twin doggies, it looks like. Are they your patterns, Sandra, on the Halloween one? One. It's still blurry. You need to see him on Kathy's Facebook page. That's Dracula. He's cute. Looks like she's still putting his nose on. Yeah, she did a great job. And we were listening to Pat Sloan's Ukraine block earlier. I want to make it, but I don't have the right colors for it. Yeah, Marie, you probably said it the way I wanted to. Count 1, 2, 3. I suck at that. And multiple washings. Even the dogs and cats are testers. My sound is gone and coming in and out. Well, that's not good. Great job, Tech Man. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He said thank you. Yeah, you could hear him earlier. Yeah, the count from Sesame Street. Okay, so I'm going to try to figure out what days I'm going to come on. I need to work around the schedules of some other people. And probably will be Thursday and maybe Tuesday. I've got to talk to Tech Man because he actually has a real time job. And, his job is more important than my YouTube lives. But we'll sit down and figure it out. And then when I put it on, or once I figure it out, I will definitely post it in my Facebook group and I will schedule them ahead of time so that everybody knows when they're happening instead of me just showing up online and going, hey, I'm here. Does that work for everybody? Have I gone silent again? Oh, okay. It's really weird. It seems like some people can hear me and some people have issues with it. Wave texture.
Solar flares.
I think I saw that one. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to. You like surprises too, Marie? Okay. Well, then I'll try to plan to keep a surprise going here and there for us. And so the next time we meet, I will have everything put together so we can maybe start doing chicken salad. And I can at least tell you what I'm going to need for supplies, and then we'll work out from there. You guys can watch me do it, or you can do it along, or whatever we decide. I can't give copies of her stuff, but
Chicken fried rice.
oh, chicken fried rice sounds good for dinner. Get yourself a tech man who can cook. That's always special. But I'll have everything together and we'll go over it. I think that's the pattern, Kathy. Wave texture. I am working. Chicken salad is actually being done on Lori Holt's blog. The link to the download guide is on Riley Blake, and I will post it. Oh, I love that tulip pink butterfly quilt. You too, Marie. I ordered the shapes from somebody on Etsy. Yeah, for the chicken salad. Lori's doing a tutorial. She's like 3 weeks into hers now. So I don't think I'm going to be stepping on any toes by showing a block a week or anything. But I will put all those links up whenever I post it on the Facebook page. And then when I set up the video for the live, I will put the links in there too in case anybody wants to download that stuff. All right. So I'm going to say bye for now. Beverly, YouTube was updating. Maybe you can catch the replay of the part that YouTube updated over. I like the live interaction too, Shirley. I think it's really nice. All right, everybody. You guys have a great day. Tech support made food for me, so I'm going to go eat. And everybody stay out of trouble. And I think Teresa Louise comes on in just a little bit, so go check her out. Bye, everybody.